With 45,000 Southern Vietnamese and American soldiers dead, the war was about to enter its next stage as the country's new lunar year is about to approach. An army of 85,000 soldiers are approaching southern positions. Armed with RPGs, mortars, and AK-47 rifles, the Viet Cong are determined to achieve their goal of unifying the country under the communist regime. With great military ingenuity, the moving forces were able to make the logistical network of roads and trails. Da Nang, the second largest city, is designated to be one of the primary objectives for the army. Because of its vital seaport, the city also has the largest airbase north of Saigon. Colonel Ross had the responsibility for the northern, western, and southwestern sectors. Below the Marine battalions, the Korean Marine Brigade secured the Hoi An sector. The Korean Marines, while not finding any sizable forces, continued to encounter small enemy units and booby traps, which took their toll. The 1st Marine Division at Da Nang was on 100% alert. At 4 p.m., one of the units situated in the mountains reported observing about 75 armed enemy soldiers.
Enemy paratroopers at grid, Papa uniform 259er, 119er. I don't know, we're onto them. Break.
At 7:20 p.m. in the same general area, still another patrol radioed that about 200 communist troops, some carrying 40mm rocket launchers, passed their positions. They requested an airstrike to cover the enemy lines. With great effect on target, elements of 2 Viet Cong battalions managed to cross the Cao Do River south of the city's airfield. The enemy attacked the compound from the south and the east. 4 armored personnel carriers maneuvered to contain the attackers. Commander Lam, witnessing enough of Allied casualties, ordered to drop, quote, big bombs on the enemy firing positions. This broke the back of the Viet Cong resistance. Under pressure from the Vietnamese relief forces and the Marines, the enemy retreated with the Allies in full chase. The anti-craft missile battalion in the mountainous Saigon Pass sector north of Da Nang reported coming under mortar fire. One of the rockets wounded 3 of the Marines. Other Rocketeers took the Marine Logistic Command compound under fire. In Hoi An, the Communist forces gained yet another upper hand.
Be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers at grid, Papa uniform 259er, 119.
One of the companies captured a German missionary hospital in the city.
Solid copy, 3-2 Bravo. Negative on Cassavac. Do what you can, out.
When the time was right, elements of the Viet Cong and local force units which participated in the attack on Hoa Vong attempted to enter the city's vital zone from the south. The 3rd Battalion swept the enemy sector south of the river. Meanwhile, the division ordered a helicopter lift of a company from the 3rd Battalion. Within a few minutes, the helicopters were airborne and then landed in a flat paddy just out of the island. The heavy action on this small island resulted in 102 Viet Cong soldiers killed and 88 prisoners of war.
Permission to engage with intent, conduct a smash, over.
In Hoi An, the South Koreans tried to close in the loop and begin preparations to retake the city. By dark, the Koreans had captured back the hospital. The fight for Hoi An resulted in Allied casualties of 58 killed, 103 wounded, and 21 missing in action. By the 31st of January, the Communist Tet Offensive was in full bloom, not only at Da Nang, but throughout Vietnam. In the northern sector of Da Nang, North Vietnamese and Viet Cong main force troops entered Da Nang once again.
2-3, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers at grid combat uniform 259er, 119er.
In retaliation, the Da Nang Northern Sector Defense Command dispatched a provisional company to assist the Marines. The provisional company linked up with the 2 South Vietnamese Ranger companies. By the afternoon of the 31st, the Marines and Rangers had completed their sweeps.
Middle of the night rocket attack on the U.S. Air Base at Da Nang kills 8 Americans, wounds 173, and destroys 11.
On the night of the 5th, the Communist forces began the second phase of its Da Nang offensive. The Marines and Viet Cong in the ensuing firefight fought at a range as close as 5 meters from one another. Colonel Smith came to the conclusion that the best way of stopping this attack was to interpose an equally strong force between the 2nd Viet Cong Division and the Da Nang vital area. Late in the afternoon, the Marine helicopters brought the 1st Battalion 6th Infantry Brigade into the landing zone near the hamlet of Duong Song. The army troops soon found themselves engaged with another enemy battalion. In the meantime, a small detachment of 15 men attempted to reinforce the Allies. Only one of the original 15 men survived. Drained by the ongoing battle, the enemy offensive in the 9th sector had spent itself. 2 of North Vietnamese divisions moved its headquarters back to Go Noi from its more forward positions. The following day, the same sources indicated that the remains of the enemy forces had also withdrawn to Go Noi Island. Despite the thinness of the Marine lines, the ability of both the NVA and the Viet Cong to infiltrate, the enemy never capitalized on these advantages. According to a report early in the offensive, the writer complained that the commander did not know the situation accurately. Furthermore, the army never made attempts at maneuvering, and when engaged, seldom maneuvered except to withdraw. The Tet Offensive was the single most important attempt for the Northern Army to finally end the already prolonged war and to unify the country. Miserably, the war was not over, not even close to being over, and many more clashes had to take place for that to happen.